right now.
Hi, happy Monday. Thanks for joining us here on GMSA at 9. An eventful weekend, a lot of football being played, homecoming.
Oh yeah, times two. And my twins had their homecoming, and so I need a day to recover from that.
Yes, Taylor.
I didn't even go to the dance.
Taylor's Wood parties, yes.
Yeah, my oldest went to that too, and so I got that report and everything. So, but you were talking about earlier last hour about how it seems like October's already just flying by.
Yes, I mean it barely started last week, and then we're already talking about events coming up this weekend. We'll be talking about it later here. And Halloween. Okay. So we have a lot to prepare for this month.
Okay. Well, let's see what happens what the weather gods are saying outside with live cam right now. So Justin Horn is on assignment, if you will, this morning. And I suspect if he were here, he'd say the same thing that Sarah's about to say. Because you guys have been in a rut lately in the weather department.
We're pretty much on the same page, though, about the weather moving forward. Generally, it's going to be quiet, but I was just talking to Justin, and I do think we are going to raise rain chances slightly tomorrow, which is not bad news. It's pretty good news. Now, outside right now, it is 74 degrees in San Antonio, only in the 60s in the hill country. As we take a look at temperatures forecast for the day, we'll be climbing to about 91 for the high, so it is going to be a warm one for us. And then looking at the pollen count, molds are low and ragweed has come down from yesterday. Yesterday, ragweed was moderate. Now it's low, so that's some good change. Not great change. The aquifer is down half a foot over the last 24 hours. We are well below 30 feet below the monthly average. Now, the good news is there is a chance for some rain tomorrow, as I mentioned, increasing those rain chances. I'll have those details for you in just a bit.
Thank you, Sarah. Let's look out there with the TransGuide cameras this morning. Earlier, we had a lot of traffic. This shot's looking great right now. Things are moving. We're also looking at the TxDOT website real quick just to see if there are any problems. Looks like it's a construction happening just in the normal spots, but that shot there at 410 at Crossroads and this one at, oh yes, be aware of this one. This is a closure that's been going on all weekend. That is 410 at Starcrest. More than likely, if you live in that area, you are already aware, but if you can avoid that area because that traffic is very backed up.
Okay, to our top stories this morning. This 18-year-old is waking up behind bars this morning.
Andrew Cantu was arrested Sunday in connection with the shooting death of a 14-year-old Simon Cuevas. Now, this is a student in San Antonio.
So Cantu was booked on capital murder charges with a $750,000 bond. Now, you might remember Simon was shot and killed near his school back in April after being followed and attacked by a group of 5 individuals. 4 other suspects, including 2 teenage brothers and another 18-year-old, face charges related to that case. One suspect, Cesar Tijerina, who was also wanted, died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound last month. Police continue to investigate. All right, today marks 1 year since Suzanne Simpson was reported missing.
Well, her disappearance has garnered national attention, and her husband, Brad Simpson, has since been arrested and charged with murder. So coming up at noon, our Erica Hernandez will actually break down the timeline of this case that's had so many people talking and also speculating what really happened to Suzanne.
All right, meanwhile, this morning, a woman is dead after being shot while sitting in her car. It happened just before midnight on the northwest side on Hickory Springs Drive near Babcock. Now, police say a woman was sitting in the car in the driveway of a home when another white car pulled up. And a man allegedly got out of the car and opened fire, hitting her multiple times in the neck, chin, shoulder, and pelvis. She was rushed to a hospital but pronounced dead. Detectives are now investigating.
Well, this morning, a community remembering 17-year-old Aliana Ujeta. She was shot and killed last weekend after leaving a party in southwest Bexar County. And last night, family and friends gathered to pray, mourn, and release balloons in her honor. Investigators say the shooting happened at a teen takeover party at an abandoned property on Lucky Road. So loved ones say they want Aliana to be remembered for the difference she made in their lives and not the tragedy that took her. The Bexar County Sheriff's Office is still investigating at what led up to that shooting and who ended up firing those shots. They're asking for anyone with any video of that party or any information to please contact the Sheriff's Office.
She was a funny, spunky, charismatic, caring person. Anytime she walked into a room, she always brought like light to it. She was like if sunshine was embodied in a person.
Bexar County Sheriff's Office is still investigating what led up to the shooting and who ended up firing the shots, like we said. So they are just asking anyone to go ahead and bring forward any information by contacting the Sheriff's Office. That number is on your screen, 210-335-6000.
Hi, continuing coverage this morning. A Holy Cross of San Antonio employee has been fired following an allegation of misconduct. In a letter to parents, the school's principal assured families that no students or staff are currently at risk. And you can see the quote here from the Holy Cross legal counsel. They said, "We cannot comment beyond what we state in the letter, and that the rumors and other misinformation being generated are completely wrong. The principal, Dr. Escobedo, is following established procedures, and he is not the subject of an ongoing investigation in any way," end quote. San Antonio police are also involved in this investigation.
Well, this morning, the new cell phone ban policy at Northeast Independent School District is set to be discussed by the district's Board of Trustees. The Texas Education Agency launched an investigation into the district's policies last week after receiving a complaint claiming that it does not comply with a new controversial law. So the district's current policy bans cell phones during class and allows them, though, during lunch or passing periods. The TEA wants the district to tighten its policy and bans phones throughout the entire school day. While no immediate changes have been made, the district's Board of Trustees will discuss its cell phone policy again during a meeting later today.
At 9:04 now, today is the last day to register to vote for the November election and get your address changed. Bexar County voters will decide on propositions A and B. We've explained those for you, or we have those explained right now on KSAT.com. Early voting goes from October 20th through the 31st, and Election Day is Tuesday, November 4th.
Well, starting today, some trails and parks in Kerrville are back open. So the Parks and Recreation officials there say it is the first reopening since the deadly July 4th floods 3 months ago. Other areas are still under restoration and remain closed for now. We have posted a full list of which parks are open right now, along with the new rules on our website, KSAT.com. All right, here's today's 9 at 9.
The latest from Egypt, where high-stakes talks are starting to end the war in Gaza. Hamas agreed to parts of President Trump's peace plan, including hostage releases and handing over Gaza's administration. But disarming Hamas remains a big question. Families of hostages hold on to hope as the talks begin.
This morning, a federal judge paused California's National Guard from heading to Portland right after doing the same for Oregon's Guard. President Trump sent California troops to protect what he calls a war-ravaged city. However, Oregon's governor says this move ignores the court's decision. Texas is also sending troops, but we are waiting to see if they'll be blocked as well.
Police are investigating 2 shootings on South Carolina State University's campus during homecoming weekend. A woman died in one shooting and a man was injured in the other. Officials say the victims were visitors and not students. An 18-year-old was arrested for shooting and weapons charges, but it's unclear if he's connected to the shootings. The university is on lockdown and today's classes are canceled.
Millions who depend on food stamps and family could lose some money if the government shutdown continues. So programs like WIC and SNAP are running on reserve funds, and without a new spending plan soon, funding may run out. So those families who rely on this aid are left worried about how they'll provide for their kids.
OpenAI is reportedly having issues that could delay its first hardware product. The AI assistant device created with iPhone and iPod designer Joni Ive was set to be released next year. But a new report says that there are multiple issues, including privacy concerns.
October sales are here with Amazon, Walmart, and Target all offering the big discounts. Experts say hold off on tech buys like TVs until Black Friday for the best deals. However, if you see a good price right now, you should go for it. Just be sure to check that price history sites and use cashback tools to save even more.
If you didn't win the massive $1.8 billion Powerball drawing last month, you've got more chances. Mega Millions is still up for grabs. Nobody hit all 6 numbers in Friday's drawing, pushing the jackpot closer to $600 million. That's the biggest prize this year. The next chance to win is tomorrow.
Well, starting next week, the post office raising prices for the holiday season. They say it's to cover the extra work that comes with all the packages during this busy time. So services like Priority Mail and Ground Advantage will cost a bit more. These higher prices will stick around until January 18th.
Taylor Swift's The Official Release of a Showgirl dominated the weekend box office with $33 million in North America. This AMC Theaters release showcases music videos and behind-the-scenes moments. It follows her Eras Tour film, which opened to $96 million almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, she did a good job. It was neat. We got to see it.
You went and saw it?
Yeah. Okay. It had some good behind the scenes, and it really she really talked about the meaning of each of her songs. Yes. So it kind of took it to another level all the Swift fans.
My daughter enjoyed it. Gave me the full report.
Got a full
over
report
the weekend.
well.
So I feel like I've seen it now. But nonetheless, yeah, Taylor Swift just can seemingly do no wrong.
Yeah, good for her. Good on her.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, 9:08 right now, 74 degrees outside, still ahead on GMSA at 9.
Well, a new rule that makes it easier to see prescription drug prices and get approvals fast, helping you save time and money.
And a historic West Side building gets a new life as a hub for businesses and startups, bringing new energy to that community. It's 9:12 now. A decades-old historic building on the west side of town just got a nice makeover, and it's going to be used to help businesses and startups thrive in that area. It's called Bacilla Frocks over on West Martin and Zarzamora Street. And ever since 1929, it's been a dress factory, a dance hall, a nightclub, a wrestling venue, even restaurant space. About 9 years ago, it was abandoned and nearly demolished, but Proper West San Antonio, an economic development organization for the West Side, took over the building and started renovating it with the help of the Dream On Group. And now it's going to be a space for businesses, artists, startups, and vendors to come together and grow in the community while overcoming the challenges that have historically limited economic growth with the area.
The West Side still, till this day, continues to encounter challenges and barriers that have been placed over generations. And those kind of challenges and barriers are hard and difficult to dismantle. And even though we're well on our way to doing so, it'll still be a long journey before we do that.
Bacilla Frocks is set to open for business this month with a grand opening in December. Our Devin Karp will have more on that story, the full story, coming up at noon.
Well, in today's health headlines, here's a new study that could really help parents. So it shows the easy tools that can help doctors guide families on safely introducing peanuts to kids, aiming to greatly cut the chances of those peanut allergies. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the details.
This morning, a new study is offering hope for families concerned about peanut allergies. Research finding a few simple but powerful tools, such as short training videos, electronic reminders, and parent handouts, helped pediatricians give clearer advice on when to safely introduce peanuts to babies.
Millions of people are living today with food allergies, which is very limiting and in some situations dangerous.
Since 2017, national guidelines have urged early peanut introduction to prevent allergies, but surveys find few pediatricians consistently follow these guidelines. The study's authors say this simple approach could prevent thousands of peanut allergies each year.
Now we have an opportunity to prevent peanut allergy, an often lifelong and severe food allergy. And pediatric clinicians are essential to making this happen.
The training videos are meant to educate doctors on how to best navigate peanut allergies with their patients. These handouts for parents include recipes for how to introduce peanut protein to a baby's diet. And electronic prompts like this remind clinicians to evaluate their patient for peanut product information during their 4 or 6 month checkups so they can talk to families about it early. Researchers say starting peanut-containing foods between 4 and 6 months can lower a baby's risk of developing a peanut allergy by more than 80%. With the use of these new tools, the data shows doctors were nearly 15 times more likely to follow allergy prevention guidelines. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, New York.
Meanwhile, the U.S. Health Department is rolling out a big change to make prescription drugs easier to navigate. Now, doctors and patients can see drug prices, insurance details, and get approvals in real time. This means faster decisions, less paperwork, and better choices that fit your insurance. Officials say it will lighten the load for doctors, help patients get the right meds, and save billions in costs, making healthcare more affordable and clear.
Well, a new study from Canada says feeling good emotionally is just as important as taking care of your body when it comes to living longer.
Researchers followed more than 8,000 people aged 60 and up and found that 1 in 4 managed to boost both their health and happiness in just 3 years. The secret? Having family and friends around, keeping a positive attitude, and sticking to healthy habits. Now, experts say this could change how we think about aging, focusing on the whole person, not just physical health. The study came out last month in the journal Plus One. Thank you. An assist from Sarah Spivey there.
Yes.
Okay, do you have your Halloween costume yet?
Not yet. Can you believe it?
Well, no. There's still time. No judgment here. The day in question is about 3 weeks away, but already the holiday is being impacted by things like tariffs and online shopping.
And this will actually be the last Halloween for at least 3 San Antonio area costume stores. So take a look at this map right here. You can see Atlantis Discovered, that's near Bandera, and then Hocus Pocus Halloween, this is near North Star Mall. And then we're familiar with the Gibson Costume Shop close to KSAT near Broadway. And all the local owners there say there are several factors leading to their decision, and it all has to do with money. They say more and more customers are just buying that online fast fashion instead of some quality costumes. These owners are also competing with large box stores that set up shop seasonally next to them and steal their business. And then there's the tariffs.
Amazon started it. Shein and Temu showed up. And then the last thing that did it for us were the tariffs. It just added like $4,600 to my orders.
I've already did the whole emotional crying.
Yeah, it's emotional. It's a business. You pour your heart into something like this.
Yeah.
Come on in and get what you've always wanted because it's available now and it's pretty reasonable. Average is about $125 for most of these costumes.
But you could probably get them cheaper than that. There are sales going on right now at these stores. Just go to KSAT.com to read more about when the doors will close for good at each of these locations.
All right, guys. So I was a theater kid.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, well, the real
and
costumes.
we would always go to these costume stores to get our costumes for the plays. So, yeah, it is a little bittersweet to see that.
Yeah, that's a little sad. Well,
Yeah.
hopefully maybe people can give that one last push and help them with this Halloween with the sales going on and, try to help them.
We are starting off October very hot, so it's impossible to know right now what it's going to be like for October 31st.
Which is Friday this year.
I know, that's kind of cool. Freaky Friday. All right, we will keep you posted, of course, on your Halloween forecast. But there are chances for rain tomorrow. First, though, I want to get you through your day today. It's 76 degrees out in San Antonio, 75 in New Braunfels. Good morning, Del Rio at 73, 70 in Boerne. It is a little muggy out there this morning. You can see that we've got humidity right around, dew points right around 70 degrees. So that is noticeably humid out there. Well, as we take a look at your KSAT 12-hour forecast, by noon it'll be 84. By 4 or 5 o'clock, that's when we expect our high of 91. And then we'll have a pretty pleasant evening. Now, it is going to be hot today. 91 for the high is about 5 degrees above average. But the thing is, we are going to have lower humidity right when it's its hottest. So it's humid, as I mentioned, out there right now, but watch what happens to dew points as we head into the afternoon. They fall into the 50s, so that is pleasantly low. So when it's our hottest, it'll be our driest, and tonight's going to be pretty pleasant too with lower humidity. So at least we've got that going for us. And as I mentioned, we have raised rain chances slightly. Take a look at temperatures across the nation. Wouldn't it be nice to have temperatures in the 50s right now, the way it is in Amarillo? This is obviously where the cool front is. You can clearly see that. You don't need to be a meteorologist to see where the front is. And along that front, we do have some rain in Kansas and even in the panhandle of Texas. Now that front is going to be inching closer to San Antonio. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you the future cast here as we look ahead to tomorrow. So tomorrow we'll start off with clouds. That front will be working its way through the panhandle. And then as we head into the afternoon hours tomorrow, there is a chance for a few spotty showers. All right, we're not talking widespread rain, but we have raised rain chances to about 30% tomorrow from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. So there is the potential that your afternoon commute tomorrow, you might have to turn on those windshield wipers once or twice. So prepare now for that possibility. Regardless, most folks will miss out on the rain tomorrow. Again, a 30% chance is not a guarantee of rain. Take a look at highs across the state of Texas. We're still going to be hot in San Antonio. They're still going to be hot in Dallas, but in the panhandle, it'll only be in the 60s and 70s. A sign that, yes, eventually the seasons will change, but we do have to get through this kind of long stretch here of mornings near 70, afternoons in the 90s, and then just that small chance for rain tomorrow. Hey, coming up in the next half hour, I'm going to talk about Hurricane Priscilla and how it could impact parts of Mexico. For now, we'll take a break and we'll be back with more news after this.
Welcome back. It's 9:24. Well, the 2025 Nobel Prize in Medicine has been awarded to 3 scientists for their groundbreaking work on the immune system. So Mary E. Branco, Fred Ramsdell, and Shimon Sakaguchi were honored in Stockholm for discovering how regulatory T cells help protect our bodies from harmful microbes. The Nobel Committee called their findings decisive and advancing immunology, opening new paths for medical research and the treatments.
Well, University Health and Bexar County are bringing back their free drive-through flu shot events. This is the 6th year they've teamed up to make it easy for everyone to get protected. The flu shot event is open to adults and kids 6 months and older.
You will need to register before you go. Each event runs from 8 in the morning until noon, so you can mark your calendars for these 2 big events. This is Saturday coming up, October 11th, and this is at Dub Ferris Athletic Complex. And then Saturday, October 25th, that will be at the other Northside Stadium, Gus Stadium. So just a heads up, COVID vaccines will not be available at these events. This is a simple way to keep you and your family healthy this season for the flu. So for more information, you can check out this website, ksatcommunity.com.
Okay, 9:25 right now, 76 degrees outside. Still more ahead on GMSA at 9.
That's right. Next, we have a special guest joining us in hopes to raise awareness and honor those lost to fentanyl poisoning.
Well, welcome back. Hope you're enjoying your morning. It is a humid one around San Antonio right now as we're approaching 76 degrees. I do want to take a moment, though, and talk about the tropics because there is a hurricane out in the Pacific, Hurricane Priscilla. Now, Hurricane Priscilla, for the most part, will stay offshore off of western Mexico. It may impact Baja California. However, Priscilla, for the most part, the biggest impact will be some rain, especially to the Mexican state of Michoacan. Otherwise, Priscilla will become a Category 2 hurricane, potentially impacting Baja California. Now, out in the Atlantic, there is an area of interest that could easily become the next named storm. It would be given the name of Jerry, but this storm is likely going to stay out to sea and not impact the United States coast. Now, as for our rain chances, we have bumped up tomorrow's rain chance to 30%. Still, by far, not a guarantee for rain, but some folks will win the rainfall lottery tomorrow. I'll have those details coming up in a bit.
Thank you, Sarah. Let's look out there with our TransGuide cameras again. Hey, for the most part, looking good, but there are still construction spots around town. There's what we're talking about there, 410 at Starcrest. That's going to be held up there until 10 a.m. So if you have to travel somewhere before 10 a.m., you might want to find another route. Right there, I-35 at Flotas, normal, kind of normal backup right there because of the construction, and I-35 at Randolph. Things are moving right now.
Okay, 9:31. So October is recognized as Fentanyl Poisoning Awareness Month. It's a crisis that continues to surge across the United States. Fentanyl-related deaths have increased over the last few years.
And with us today is a mother who knows all too well the pain of losing a loved one to fentanyl poisoning. This is Martha Johnson, who's joining us right now. She is an angel mom. Thanks for being here this morning.
Thank you. Thank you all for having us.
And we understand, you were here, for your grandson.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about, the meaning of Angel Mom and, and just a little bit about why you're here for your grandson.
Okay. My grandson, Jake Ryan, he was 25, and he passed away. Well, he was killed by fentanyl poisoning, April the 30th, 2021. We didn't even know what fentanyl was. And so I got in touch with some angel moms. I found them later. And what we're doing is we need to spread the awareness. I mean, if I would have known about fentanyl, it would have, to me, it would have made a difference.
And you're here because you just told us that his mother, your daughter, has since passed away from cancer. And you said she kind of essentially passed the baton to you.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So I know Selena would have been here. She would have been doing this. So she did. She did pass me the baton. And it's so funny, but people would think he was my son, Jake. And I would say, he's my grandson.
Right.
So I had to, I told him my story that his mom wasn't here, but I am here. And I'm going to fight. And we've been doing this this is our third annual walk that we're having.
Speaking of that walk, can you tell us a little bit about what this walk means to you and how people can help out?
Okay. Our walk is going to be Sunday, September the 12th. October the 12th.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, okay.
October the 12th.
This coming Sunday.
This behind.
This Sunday.
Yeah.
But, and it's at 3. And this walk is so important because we are raising awareness. We are saving lives. There's still a lot of people out there that don't know about fentanyl. So us being out there talking about it, it brings awareness, and that's what we need to do. We need to save lives.
I think the thing with fentanyl too is that these deaths happen so quickly, with not a lot of warning in a lot of cases. We talked to another Angel mom last hour as well, and we obviously report on these things more than we would like to here on the news. So if you could speak directly to the grandparents or the parents who are going to see this,
Yes.
what would you like them to know?
It is fentanyl. All you need is like 2 little grains of salt. So it's like when people say, well, overdose. We were like, no, no, no. It's not an overdose. It is poison. Yeah. It took, like Jake, 1 pill. That's all, 1 pill. And it killed him. And that's what's happening with these children. And young adults.
Right.
They're taking 1 pill.
And you don't always associate 1 pill with overdose. You think
exactly.
of a whole...
With dying. Yes,
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I was going to say that's why it's so scary, because for you trying to outreach to parents, because you know, like Ernie said, like you're trying to tell kids, like, it's not the fact that you're taking a bunch of pills; it's just you're taking this poison laced, essentially, pill, and it just takes one time.
Exactly, and you cannot experiment, like saying, well, I'll try this. There's a friend of ours, he's an angel dad. His name is Mike Land. He'll say, 1 try, you die. And that's exactly what it is. These kids, it's just devastating. And we don't want no parents, grandparents, to be going through what we go through. And it's just losing our children, losing our grandchildren. It's just very hard.
I know you've been through a lot, and we touched on the walk that's happening this weekend, but tomorrow there's a town hall that we are happy to be participating in here through KSAT Community, and there are the particulars on that happening tomorrow at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It must be difficult to be here on live television talking about this, but how important is it for you and the other Angel moms and dads to be out front of this and to kind of spread the message?
It is very important. I talk to kids every day, and they still don't know. And us as angel moms, angel parents, grandparents, going out there telling them, that it's in everything. It's in vape, it's in pot. It's not. It's just out there, and it's just critical for us to get that across and let them know that the danger. And this is so sad, but we always think, I have other grandchildren. I have 11 grandchildren. So our 10-year-old, 11-year-old, they know about it, and they should know about it.
Yeah.
Because they're young, but it's out there. And I let them know it's out there.
Which is why it's so important to spread that message, Martha, right? I was going to say, just a reminder to people, the town hall tomorrow, but this weekend is the walk. And how can people take part in the walk?
We are, they could come out, support us. We could, the community. Also, we're going to have food trucks.
Food trucks.
Vendors. They're going to, also Narcan. We're going to have Narcan
yes.
training also, which is very good. We need, we need that out there. Just to come out and join us, and we'll have music, but also it brings in the awareness where we could talk to the people, talk to the kids. There's also a memorial, walkway memorial that is just so powerful, because that shows what these kids have. These kids are dying, and it's like 300. They probably bring 300 of them, and posters, and you just walk. And seeing that has an impact.
I bet it does. Well, again, we hope that if you can join us for the town hall and the walk. Again, ksatcommunity.com if you want to find out more information.
Yes, that town hall. Thank you so much.
Sure.
That is going to be. People need to tune into that town hall and see what's going on. That's going to be real good, and we want to thank you for that also.
Well, we thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you, Martha.
Thank you. Okay.
All right, well, stay with us here on GMSA at 9.
Yeah, to some other headlines here happening today. We are expecting an ethics review board to hear a complaint regarding Mayor Gina Ortiz-Jones. Now, you might remember that Bexar County GOP Vice Chairman Kyle Sinclair filed an ethics complaint against the mayor in July after she sent a letter to top DNC officials promoting San Antonio as a destination for the party's 2028 national convention. Sinclair argued that it was improper for the mayor to use her position and city resources. An outside attorney for the city then reviewed the complaint and allowed a portion of it to proceed for the city's ethics review board to consider. The board will review the complaint and decide if any civil sanctions should be applied. In a recent interview, Sinclair said that he wants the mayor to offer the same opportunity to his party for its 2032 convention. Again, that complaint will go before the Ethics Review Board later today. And of course, we'll update you on what happens throughout the day on KSAT 12 and KSAT.com.
Well, a man was detained after crashing his car into a meat market. San Antonio police say he was parked outside the Culebra meat market yesterday off of Old Pearsall Road and Five Palms Drive. And that's when he told employees to call 911, claiming he was having a medical emergency. Moments later, he drove through the front doors and got into a fight with people inside. No one was seriously hurt. However, that building had some extensive damage. The man was taken to the hospital for treatment. Now, police say no charges have been filed.
Okay, 9:39 right now, 76 degrees outside. You're watching GMSA at 9.
We'll be right back.
The biggest difference, I mean, I think in general what describes my progression is like the ability to do more and to use like my skills, but I was like being slowed down by the maturity of the body, you know what I mean? And I'm still gonna be, of course, because we all of us young guys are, going to get to our prime in a few years. But yeah, it's expanding, the range of what my body is able to do.
Well, tonight, Victor and the Spurs open up their preseason against a team from China. The Guangzhou Long Lions of the Chinese Basketball Association are making the trip 8,200 miles to the Alamo City. Their city is northwest of Hong Kong. This will mark the first time the Spurs have played a preseason game against a team from China. The tip-off tonight is 7 o'clock.
Well, over the weekend, the Viva Mexico Women's Festival happened on the south side of town.
Yeah, as our Devin Karp visited with a group of women who picked up an unconventional instrument and then ended up finding a community of support along the way.
When you're not listening to customers or the sounds of your morning brew, over here at the Coffee Cup Co., you can hear live music ringing in the air.
Like just practicing together, like as a whole group, we've only been doing for about 2 weeks. So it's been good though. We've been catching on quick.
These are Las Mujeres, a group of women who met when they picked up accordion lessons over at the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center.
I didn't know it was going to be like playing it, but then after learning more about the instrument and seeing other people play other instruments, I'm like, oh, this is much different, because there's so many ways to do different chords or different notes.
Ever since then, they found time to squeeze in practice and pull off some good tunes, all while finding new friends in class and fighting some stereotypes that this is a man's instrument.
And so it was a really wide range, but there was also like a good amount of women there. And I also feel like we kind of all clicked together and we kind of stuck together. I mean, we love our male classmates too, but I feel like we've gotten like a special bond as being women playing this specific instrument.
So it's really fun to have this community of ladies playing.
Now they've been invited to perform at the Viva Mexico Women's Festival, an event meant to uplift artists and musicians while highlighting Mexican culture.
How are you feeling ahead of the performance? Good?
Excited. Yeah, excited. It'll be good.
They hope this is the first of many gigs for the Mujeres, because the only limit they can see is how far their instruments can stretch.
For me, I'm a mom too, like Carson, and I'm proud to be able to show my daughter that, you can do whatever you want, no matter how old you are.
It's really empowering.
Devin Karp, KSAT 12 News.
Oh, okay. We play the music under Sarah's weather just to keep the accordion going.
Let's just keep it going.
Yes.
And also we need something positive because it's hot and it's dry. And I'm struggling to find very good rain chances for the next 10 to 14 days. Now, that being said, tomorrow we do have a shot at it.
Okay, we'll take it.
And hopefully we get some, because it could be, just like last year, one of our drier Octobers. And in fact, here's a look at the top 5 driest Octobers on record for San Antonio.
Yikes.
On 1952, many people, even if you weren't alive in 1952.
I was not around for that.
Wow. Shocking. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding, Ernie. I'm sorry. I had to put that in there a little bit. You look great, Ernie.
Thank you very much.
We weren't around for 1898 either.
Oh, you weren't? Okay, that's good to know. All right, so 1952, many of us know about the drought of the 50s, even if you didn't live the drought of the 50s. 1952, in October, we only saw a trace amount of rain. That's less than 1/100 of an inch of rainfall. But just last year, last October, we only saw 1/100 of an inch of rain. Our second driest October on record was just last year. And yes, none of us were around in 1898, but that was our third driest October. And you can see that it would take at least 1/10 of an inch of rain to not be in the running for the driest Octobers. It is possible if the rain falls in exactly the right place, the airport, that's where the rain gauge is, we could easily see 1/10 of an inch of rain tomorrow. But we've got to cross our fingers because, as we can see, there is a cool front working its way across the panhandle of Texas right now. There's some rain there. And as we look at the futurecast, by tomorrow morning, we're going to start off with some clouds. It'll be noticeably humid. And then tomorrow afternoon, that front is going to stall to the north or try to push into San Antonio briefly, and it could fire off 1 or 2 of those showers. Again, if one of those happens right over the airport, that would mean rainfall accumulation. If it doesn't, that means that we're going to continue our streak without rain. It's been about 28 days since the airport has recorded rainfall. Again, tomorrow the rain will be very spotty. Vast majority of us will miss out on rain. But if you happen to get one of those showers, you could easily see 1/4 of an inch of rain. So when we look at rain chances, 30% tomorrow. That is it. Then we're going to be pretty dry over the next several days. What about temperatures? Outside right now, it is 76 degrees and it's humid. We've got dew points in the upper 60s, noticeably humid outside. But as we head into the afternoon, that humidity is going to come down. When we're our hottest, we'll be at 91 today. So that is hot, about 5 degrees hotter than average. But at least the humidity will be low as we head into the evening hours as well. 91 for the high in San Antonio today, 92 in New Braunfels, 93 in Del Rio. That front tomorrow will allow for morning lows to be very pleasant in the panhandle in the 50s. But again, we're going to be muggy here in San Antonio. What about highs? All of us are still going to be hot because, again, that front is not really going to move through San Antonio. We will, however, see highs in the 60s and 70s in the panhandle. And if you were watching me over the weekend, I talked about the potential for a cool down after October 15th. That's trending back a little bit. We may not see that after October 15th, but I promise you, eventually the seasons will change, guys. Yay. We just have to wait and be patient. And we have increased those rain chances to 30% tomorrow. So
yay.
Weather, you never know.
It's better than nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we'll hang on there and we'll stick around in the shade for all those days in the 90s.
Yeah, and again, if there's a positive, it's when we're our hottest, we'll be our driest. So humidity will be lower in the afternoon.
We'll take that.
Okay,
Thank
very
you, Sarah.
good. Very good. Okay, on to SA Live coming up in about 10 minutes. Fiona's standing by to give us the Monday rundown. Good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. Well, today is National Coaches Day, so that got us thinking about giving a shout out to some of the coaches. It could be a coach that inspired you. It could be one of your child's coaches. So we're asking folks to either share a memory today or something about their kid's coach that they like.
Yes.
So what about you guys?
Well, okay, so I gotta say, when I was playing soccer, I remember there was one year where my dad was my coach, and that was just like the coolest thing when you're a kid and your dad is your coach. So he was great, little coach there. How about y'all?
Well, I didn't play any sports.
What about
But I know my husband coached my daughter. So,
yes, so there you
so
go.
it's really nice when the parents, kind of step up, and then and then hats off to all the coaches, for I'd say Coach Lindsley for volleyball for Rooney, and then now new coaches, Coach Kat and Coach Vivens, all doing a phenomenal job of getting our kids together.
There's a lot of good ones out there for sure. When I was in 8th grade and I was playing baseball, I would hit the ball and run around the bases. And as I was running past first base to second base, Coach Clark, he would yell, "Zuniga, unhook that trailer," because it looked like I was running and pulling a trailer at the same time.
That's cute. Real quick, Ernie, I thought about this. Does this count, Fiona? I was on the math team. I had a math
Of course it
Mr. Pickens in
There you
6th
go.
grade. He took me to state calculus.
Oh,
So there you go.
That's a good
I
coach
love
right
it.
there.
Okay, very good.
See, that absolutely counts. Thanks, guys. So we want you to scan that QR code and weigh in as well. Well, we've got some classic Halloween designs here as far as your favorite snack trends and cookies. And Lori Avila McDonald, owner of Addie Bear Sweets, is here. There's a deal we're going to tell you about in the show, so you're going to stick around for that. But if you're making these at home, you know, kind of decorating your own cookies, what are some things to remember? We've got about 30 seconds.
It's definitely all about the consistency. So different things you want to accomplish. If you want a thicker line, you add less water. And then if you want a looser flood, you add more water. So definitely your consistency is probably your most important part of cookies.
And real quickly, see these tiny little designs on these cupcakes? Those didn't come from Amazon in a bag, right?
No, I had to make them myself with a little mold and fondant.
And using some molds and some fondant. All right, more amazing work from Addie Bear Sweets coming up in the show at the top of the hour.
K-pop Demon Hunters is having more than a moment. The soundtrack for the smash hit Netflix animated film returned to the top of the Billboard 200 album chart, beating out the debuts of new albums by Mariah Carey and Doja Cat, among others. We'll see how it fares next week when Taylor Swift's new disc hits the charts.
The real horror to this is that it's realistic.
The new Resident Evil has added cast members. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Kaylee Reese from True Detective Night Country has signed on for the horror franchise reboot, as has Zach Cherry from Severance. Weapons writer-director Zach Kreger is helming the reboot, which begins filming this month and is due in theaters next September.
In a place outside time lies a mystical realm.
You can revisit that realm as The Dark Crystal returns to theaters. The iconic live-action fantasy is getting a re-release in honor of the Jim Henson Company's 70th anniversary. Screenings are October 12th and 13th. Info and tickets at fathomentertainment.com. Seeking the great conjunction in Hollywood, I'm David Din.
Oh, look at those special effects. I love it. Love it. Back in the day. We hope you'll join us this Saturday, the 11th, at the Rocket Lock in Terra for Light the Night. Hundreds of lanterns will illuminate the sky to celebrate, honor, and remember people impacted by blood cancers. Our Daniela Ibarra is going to MC that event, and we have more information if you'd like to join us at ksatcommunity.com.
Another check of the roads with Trans Guide. For the most part, looking pretty good. Looking there at I-35, the Zarzamora. Things are moving. I want to remind you about that closure that we had all morning, Loop 410 at Starcrest. Should be opening in the next few minutes.
That's what RJ said. At 10 o'clock, it was supposed to wind down. So hopefully, TxDOT is going to stick to that time. So we'll see. Okay, and we'll see if we get any rain tomorrow. Sarah,
Yeah,
you said
I'm
there's
hopeful.
So you're saying there's a chance?
Yeah, there's a 30% chance
All right.
to be exact. That's from the Dumb and Dumber movie. I got that. I got that.
I'm not implying that you're dumb, but
I'm sure you're not.
great
But
movie.
yes, again, there is a chance tomorrow. 2 p.m. to 8 p.m., 30%. Otherwise, we'll have mornings near 70 degrees, afternoons near 90 degrees. So we were talking about movies.
Yes.
I have to say, I saw One Battle After Another. That's a new Paul Thomas Anderson movie with Leonardo DiCaprio.
Oh,
It is an insanely good movie. The funny thing is, I didn't realize when I went to the movie, I got some time on my day off on Friday. The movie theater was full of Swifties for that.
And people thought you were
album
there to
release.
see the Taylor Swift movie.
What about me makes you think I'm? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you.
No.
But yes, they did, and there was a lot of people there. I mean, whenever an event gets put on for Taylor Swift,
yes,
it is a community event. But I cannot recommend that movie more. One Battle After Another, a phenomenal film.
I'm a big Leonardo fan.
Yeah, Leo
Yes.
DiCaprio.
Yeah.
He is interesting. He's a girl dad in this movie.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I saw a
Takes
preview.
it to another level. So.
Okay, looking forward to that. Were you thinking about maybe trying to also, after your movie, checking out Taylor Swift as well, or was just?
Oh, I did listen to the album.
Okay, you listened to the album, yeah.
I'll reserve my thoughts on that.
Oh, got you.
Plenty of time to break it all down.
But if you see the movie, maybe you'll see that the song's broken down. And,
Sure.
yeah.
We'll chat about it later.
Okay. we
Very
will.
good. Okay, there you have it. All right, that's all we have for this Monday on to SA Live. Have a fantastic day.
Celebrating San Antonio with